5:30, I'm calling to order this regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Bandera on Thursday, November 7th, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. All council members are present, the city administrator is present, the city secretary is present, our marshal and our public works director are also present. Will, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Yes.
Rise to
Most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together this evening. Thank you for the weather that we've had today. We certainly appreciate the rain. We'd ask for your blessings upon this meeting. Also ask for your blessings upon everyone so they might have a safe journey home at the end. Most of all, Lord, we ask for your forgiveness for our many sins, and thank you for your Son who died upon the cross. We ask for your grace and beg for your mercy. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 is business to be heard. None. There are nobody signed up tonight. So we'll move on to the consent agenda. Item 4 will be the consent agenda. Item A, approve the minutes from Board of Adjustments meeting and regular meeting on October 17, 2019.
Move to approve.
Lynn makes a motion to approve. Rod seconds. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed. Item 5 is the quarterly staff reports. The administrator's report is first. Jay?
Well, this is good news for tax purposes. In the quarterly tax from the comptroller's office in the month of September, $80,630.56, up $12,188 from this time last year. For the year, $816,025.86, up $71,220 compared overall from last year. So things are going the right direction.
Excellent. Thank you. Anything else?
No, it's only good news.
You're going to share the bad news?
That's it.
You just gotta keep that to yourself.
It's not that bad. Really, it's not. Okay, item B is the marshal's report, code enforcement report, monthly statistics on code and deputy report.
Good
Mr.
evening,
Will?
everybody. How are y'all doing?
Good.
How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Start off with the code enforcement stuff. Looks like for the quarter, 19 signed permits and denied one of them, which was the variance that was given to the Boot and Saddle Saloon. 4 plumbing permits, 8 mechanical, HVAC permits, 6 certificate of occupancies, 1 electrical, 5 roofing, 1 new home building permit on Whitetail, 5 building permits, a sound permit, and comes to a total of 50. He conducted 4 inspections, investigated, neither negated or confirmed 25 violations for various code violations. The Kingdom Hall is completed, and now Con Street, and the certificate of occupancy is issued. I don't know if y'all saw any of that. That was a very well-oiled machine that went on down there. It seemed like. The Crack Mug Coffee House and Dojos have both completed their projects and are open for business. I believe Dojos was open today. That was their first day, and it's soft opening. Advised that Best Western has begun to move a little faster and is making good progress on their outside finish work with balconies installed as well as some windows. He's got siding is pending, but it looks like they've gotten started on the siding and they're fixing to start on some of their inside work. I advised that the old Longhorn is also moving forward and is waiting on some inspections, but ultimately has had no further issues with that project. He's also covered some deputy work, but neither I or the other day shift deputy has been out for training or court issues or stuff like that. As far as the marshal's report, the main thing to note in this quarter is we've had an uptick in crashes, vehicle crashes for this period, and those generally are parking lot crashes, and the only thing I can attest that to is that we've just got a lot more people in the businesses in town. There's a lot of them in Lowe's, a lot of them, probably second place is the post office. The first thing I knee-jerk kind of looked at was we maybe we're not writing enough traffic tickets, but I went down, and it's not broken down on what you have, but for that period, we've written 89 citations and 90 warnings for that same period, so we're consistent on our traffic tickets for the period, so we haven't dropped off on that, but we have more of the parking lot crashes, which traffic citations don't really do much for crowded parking lots and people that are worried about their getting home to fix dinner, or a bunch of kids in the car and not paying attention to what all's going on. Did y'all have any questions about the report that you have on there? We got a couple of other things that aren't on your report. We have had we had a burglary at the Bandera Wash House on the 23rd of October. Happy to report that we have developed 2 suspects due to fingerprinting, as well as some help from anonymous report. Hopefully the fingerprints are going to confirm that those 2 are in fact the folks that did commit that burglary. Other than that, crime's pretty low right now, as it generally is. We're keeping a good eye on everything. We had an excellent turnout at the Nightmare on Maple Street. I have a long list of folks that I'd like to thank for that, but I'd really like to hit the high points. First of all, really the city council, the mayor, and the chicken coop for all the food, and Glenn and Lynn for monetary support, as they always do. The EDC, Bandera Electric made a large donation. Hill Country Bank and Hondo National Bank also helped with water and money. Heather and Stephen Jones, who, just like last year, put on all the hard work and did the haunted hayride. That's a huge undertaking. I don't think we had quite as many people do the haunted hayride this year, but it was quite a bit cooler and more fall, Halloween type weather. Brandy Clark, Tony Kuntz, Kim Maddox, Chris Bryant, and Richard Stegall from Pops RV. All the first responders from the area came out and helped out with everything. Winters Electric, Heart 2 and Lake Cloud, Bandera United Methodist Church, Gateway Church, Grace Lutheran Church, First Baptist Church. When you can get that many churches together for one event, I mean, I don't know what else to say. The community has really come together for this event.
That's great.
I wish I had more to do with it other than just kind of facilitating, and Willie really worked hard, but a lot of folks really put a lot of hard effort into this, and I don't know how many hundreds of pounds of candy we gave out, but I sure saw a lot of happy, smiling kids, and I think it's probably twice as big in half the time this year as it was last year, and maybe next year it'll be equally, will grow in leaps and bounds just like before. We have the Veterans Day Parade coming up this weekend, and that will be starting at noon with lineup in the city park at 10 o'clock. There will be a program starting on the courthouse lawn at 11, and Representative Andrew Murr will be there, as well as the San Antonio Pipes and Drums. And got the Christmas parade application today, and they are asking for a permit for that to be on the 7th of December at 11 o'clock. So we'll have it for the VBA.
They're gonna do a Saturday day parade this year instead of okay, cool.
It seems like when the VBA is in charge of it, they want a daytime one, and if it's the chamber, they're in favor of a nighttime. So currently it's the VBA, and they want a Saturday 11 o'clock one, which is maybe not quite as pretty, but it certainly is safer, and that's, I'm all in favor of that. So, did y'all have any questions about anything? Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a drive-through deal tomorrow for the Lady Bulldogs cross country.
That is on my list. I'm glad you brought that up. We will be escorting the Lady Bulldogs cross country team from their after the pep rally, tentatively 10:30 to 10:45-ish, through town down Main Street on their way to Round Rock. My understanding is they have won state 4 years in a row, and they missed it by a couple of spots last year, but they're well on their way. I'm assured by one very proud mother of two of them yesterday that she will settle for nothing less than another state
And
championship
the
this year.
grandmother of one of them, yes.
And they were asking everybody to please come out and, for a few minutes on Main Street. Even if you don't want to get out of your car, you just want to lay on the horn when they come by, they would certainly appreciate the support. Like I said, I think we're going to have a fire truck or two involved, and we're going to be leading them through town and get them out headed towards Round Rock. I believe the track meet is Saturday morning, but we'd like to get them out of town on style and show them that everybody in town's behind them and backing them for that long drive around Rock. If y'all would please come out and support them. Thank you for reminding me of that. I had it in my stack.
Thank you, Will. Anything else, Council? Thank you, Will.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we are going to skip over the treasurer's report. She is currently at a municipal court report. Let's do the municipal court report first. You've all got it in your packet. Have a chance to look at it. What? DPW report, yes. Here, come on.
Sounded like I got skipped from my
He was ready to head out the door.
I thought I missed it. How are y'all today? Everybody good?
Hello, Martin.
Oh, living the dream. All right, I'll
Hey,
make
I'm
this,
glad to hear it.
make this pretty quick. So, running down the list like I do each time. In wastewater, we have some repairs we're working on to our detention tank. Our infiltration and inflow project's working out and it's showing us a lot of positive signs. We have an aerator to replace, and the repairs are underway now for the 173 lift station down at the rehab. I hope to have those completed in a couple of weeks. Drinking water projects, I'm sure you noticed we worked on the well at Mulberry, and we also worked on the well at Indian Waters. Happy to say both wells are back in play, working as they should. So we got that completed. Still moving forward on our cross-connect control program, source water protection plan. We met with the Texas Rural Water Association again this week. We're working on putting some dates together. We're gonna do some water testing and things like that. Park projects, TxDOT finished all their work underneath the bridge. If any of y'all were keeping up with that, as far as the riprap and some of the underwashing and stuff that happened down there, and they took all the trees out that were under the bridge growing up inside the river. We've begun the park improvements from some of the funding we got from EDC, but you know, it's gonna happen throughout the winter. We're obviously waiting on better weather, things like that, but we've started working on it. We got some line in the ground last week. Street projects, so the replacement signs have arrived. I bought through TDCJ. I got those in last night, so you'll see those going up in the very near future. We're continuing with the road edging, and we've got the work completed over here at the Jehovah's Witness. The street light on 173, still fighting with the insurance company on that, so I'm on them, but the one that got knocked down,
Oh, yeah.
the one that's laying on, that one?
Yes, I've noticed that.
Yeah. The insurance company's being a little bit of a pain, but I think I got my ducks in a row. General projects, we have this drainage ditch behind City Hall. We've gone and shot grade out there, and we've got a little light grading to do there, but obviously it's gonna be weather permitting. We can't make more of a mess than we need to. So far in animal control this quarter, we've had 7 dogs come through the shelter, 3 were adopted, and 4 were reunited with their owners, and we have 2 still in jail. Anybody needs a dog? One of them apparently is deaf. You might need a deaf dog. Nice dog, you just can't hear anything. Anybody have any questions for me?
Not at this time. Are you gonna be here when we discuss the budget adjustment? Since we're talking about putting money in your.
Which
your street
adjustment
maintenance
is it?
fund? I just didn't know if it was appropriate to bring it up now during the report, or if I needed to wait until the budget item, the agenda item.
We can bring it up. You're talking about the utility fund, surplus funds? Yes, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be here and why we can't bring it up, because it is the DPW report, but these are for this year's surplus funds, and we have some more discussion to do about the 18-19 surplus funds, so,
I'm happy to wait.
thank you.
And Martin and I will get together, we'll have a list, of equipment needed, whatever might be needed, if the funds are available for that, if we can move them that way, and then also discussion on the trucks and equipment that we'd like to put in for auction.
We'll get to that next meeting and get you a complete list on all of the surplus funds and these different things we want to move.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Martin.
Okay. Municipal court report, item D. As you can see, we kept $58,300 this year, which is excellent considering we have to pay fines and all that stuff to the state. So court has come a long way in the last 2 years as far as revenues. Give that credit to Jeanette.
I was gonna say, is Jeanette's pretty aggressive, I mean, she's pretty aggressive about trying to collect the funds, so that's pretty good.
Anything else on the court report? All right, the treasurer's report, again, she's at a government accounting seminar this week, and I would like her present when we present the numbers, because there are some things that I'd like to clarify with council before we get there. So council's permission, we'll leave that one off. Move on to number 6, discussion of possible action on the following items. Item A is presentation by Genevieve Flores of Hondo Economic Development Corporation to explain new training opportunities at their new training facilities. Jay and I met with Ms. Genevieve a couple of weeks ago, and very interesting conversation.
We did. Thanks again for having me. Like she said, I'm Genevieve Flores, and I'm the Economic Development Director for the City of Hondo. And with me tonight is Kim Davis, our City Manager. And so, I want you to look at that presentation real quick, and on the front of it, it says regional. See how it's underlined regional, so that we all understand that it's not about Hondo, it's not about Medina County. Some of the other cities were saying, okay, why did you come to City Council? Because you guys are the movers and shakers of the community. You guys are, well thought of, people reach out to you, so we thought let's go to the people who are our resources that can help tell the story about what we have to offer in Hondo. And so I'm gonna go through the presentation real quick, and so, again, like tonight, I want you to know it's not about Hondo, it's about everything around us. And so what we have out at the training centers, we have Workforce Solutions Alamo, we have Southwest Texas Junior College, we have Goodwill Academies, we also have City of Hondo, and we have the most important part, ACOG, who provides the art, the area regional transportation, and that has helped us out tremendously. Savvynow now comes over to a certified nursing assistant program that we have, and they're the high school students. So they'll leave there at 7:40, they're in Hondo by 8, and they're back at school by 9:30 for their 3rd period class. And so we'd like for that to happen with Bandera. With ACOG, we can come pick up whoever's interested. As long as there's 5 or more students, adults or in high school, we will come pick them up for the programs that we have. So if you go to page 4 in your packet, that tells you a little bit about everything that we have. With the junior college, they offer, the basic college courses. They offer, the associate's degree. They also, the big thing right now is the GED program. Because the GED program is offered throughout the entire day, it's not just in the morning or in the evening, now it's like the entire day. We're having people from all over come, whether it's, Poteet, Pearsall. So it's been interesting to see that dynamic. We've even had some people come from Medina, I think that's past here. So that's, again, a really positive. For whatever reason, it's worked out, and from there, they'll either go across this hall to a counselor to see what the next steps are, or they'll go over to Workforce Solutions to see what kind of jobs are available. So that's been a big, big plus. Along with that is the CDL, the patient care technician, and the heavy equipment operator. And I know I'm going to go through this really, really fast because I know they only gave me 5 minutes. So But I want this so that you know what's available. If you go to the next page, that's gonna tell you about the training with the welding and HVAC. Huge impact on the community. That is on the high demand list that's Workforce Solutions puts out. So that's why we moved towards that. The city went ahead and had sponsorships to get all the equipment, so all that dollar has been already, the goal has been reached for that, so that we can assist with keeping the rates lower. So that's why we went out and sponsored the entire equipment for welding and HVAC as well. So again, you see ACOG, they will come pick up here. And I just want to stress that because people keep telling me, well, they don't have a way to get there. So Natalia and Divine, they have a total of 6 students in that area, so they'll start with us with the program that's gonna start January 2020, which is the welding in the evening. And so again, the Honda Public Library offers Microsoft certification programs. If there's anyone interested in that, again, we have that. You can go to the website and look at the times of when we are teaching those classes. And then you're probably saying, okay, what's in it for us? Like, why do we care? Well, first of all, you care because that's gonna have a bigger pool for us to pick from. Once we educate a lot of the community that's interested in being a welder, then they'll have people that we can pick from right here in this area. Some people will go off and go work, but they'll come back and spend their money here. And so that's what we're trying to do as a region, is let's educate everyone that's interested in being a welder or an HVAC. And then we'll go even from there. As this program starts taking off, we'll start opening up other opportunities, whether it's electricians or plumbing, but we have to start somewhere. So this is why we started with the 2 main things that are out on the demand list. Since you're the movers and shakers, I want you guys to be my voice, for you guys to reach out to me if anyone's interested, or for you guys to explain the programs to them. And so, with that being said, I know I went through it really fast and I apologize, but if you have any questions, my contact information is there. But yes, you have a question?
Well, yeah, if y'all don't mind me just bringing it up now, quickly.
No, I'm gonna do that
Is
quickly.
ACOG your partner, so the transportation is funded?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Have you spoken with anyone at the high school?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I
great.
went out and I spoke to the principal and the counselors, yes.
Anyone with special ed specifically?
No, I did not, just the counselors. If there, you can send me a contact, I'll definitely reach out and come
I
back
will
out.
do that.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you. Any other questions?
Judy, you said in our meeting that your emphasis was on getting adults rather than high school students. Is that still your primary goal?
So right
If
now-
our need is more to get the high schoolers vocationally trained than the adults?
So right now, we can do both. If there's a need and you want the high school program to really step up, we will start that program in the spring. We do have Savvy now that I was just telling Kim as we're coming up is very interested, and I believe, to my understanding, within that area, there's about 22 students that are interested in the welding program. And here's what happens with the welding program. Again, it's all hourly based. And so what they're gonna do is kick off the program in January 2020. And they're gonna push it really hard to certify these adults by the end of the summer. So in 7 months, they'll walk out with a certificate. And someone said, well, was that gonna be, I think it's like a G1 or G2, and it depends on that individual. So if you start testing early and you get that G1, then you go to the next one and the next one. So you're walking out with what you are qualified for. And somebody else next to you might go either higher or much lower. But the good thing is that what's happening with these high schools is that they are taking welding, but they're not certified programs. So they're walking into these companies and they're saying, yes, we'll take you, but at an apprentice level. And with just one more step, getting the certificate, that bumps them up. That gives them, you know, the competitive edge. So that's why we're pushing that as a region versus just saying, hey, you know what, we want it in our county. No, it's for everyone. Utilize the centers, they're there. And I drove, you know, I've come up, and I never look at the time, but it took me, 29 minutes to get here?
Yeah.
And for someone to get on a bus that I can pick you up right here and take you over and bring you back, you can study on the way, you can do what you need to on the way and back. So that's gonna help you out. Yes, yes. Any other questions, anyone?
Anything else from council?
Thank you so much for letting me come in and speak with you
For the
guys. And again, my
presentation.
contact information is there if you need to reach out to me.
It's a
Thank
great,
you.
it's a great program.
Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Okay, item B is vote on the ballot for the Bandera Appraisal District Board of Directors for 2021. You'll see in your packet.
number of votes is a drop in the bucket. I said that our number of votes is a drop in the bucket.
Yes, only 52.
I would like to make a motion, if I may.
Go ahead.
That we allocate all 52 of our votes to our city candidate, Darcy Hasty.
I second that.
Bryce seconds. Discussion, council? Okay, all in favor of giving 52 votes to Darcy Hasty? All in favor, none opposed.
Hopefully it helps. Good luck.
Okay, item C is the allocation of funds to the general fund, council city contingency fund 10-506-4530 in the amount of $86,210. I tried to make it more plain by writing it out tonight. The one thing we have to move tonight out of that $86,000 is $22,296 to the street maintenance fund. We passed the ordinance last meeting to establish a designated account. Other than that, it's all up to you guys what you want to do with the rest of it. My idea is to put $25,000 of that aside for this Texas Parks and Wildlife grant that we've applied for. And then I would like to take a specific sum that council would allow the administrator and public, not just public works, but all the department heads to use in considering raises for employees upon review and merit.
So what are the restrictions for what we can spend utility fund?
There are no restrictions. This is excess money that we have, except for the $22,296.
So it doesn't matter which fund, we can go by whatever project.
The rest of it, you can do whatever you want to with. Or you can just leave it all there and the administrator can come to you, council, at such time and say, hey, can we get X number of dollars for Texas Parks and Wildlife? Or can we get X number of dollars for a street striping machine? Those all fall under the general fund. But I would like you to set aside a specific amount to consider raises for employees, because if you don't, it's not council's duty or responsibility to give raises to employees. That's for the administrator and public, I keep saying public works, and department heads to do. So what I would like you to do is set aside an amount, be it whatever it may be, for them to use at their discretion upon review of their employees. Yes, Rebecca?
So I don't know how arbitrary, it just feels a little arbitrary to pick a number out of the air. And would it be more appropriate that if at that time that review occurs, that, I mean, it's gonna come out of the council contingency fund?
Because we
Correct.
did not budget for any raises this year.
Correct. So, in the event that the situation comes up and the funds are needed for a raise, then the request could be brought to council, or could it just be taken from the council contingency fund?
If council will allow $20,000, $10,000, whatever you want to, for the general fund, which would fund about a third of our employees, I think.
Yeah.
Because, reviews are done at different times during the year. So
Sure.
if we would like to give employee Joe over here a 50-cent raise, it's gonna cost the city about $2,500 annually to do that. So it would be up, I don't want to give the impression that Jay is coming to council to ask
Okay.
for money for the employee. Do you see what I'm trying to avoid?
So $20,000 is the number
I think 20,000 is a
you're
real good number.
suggesting?
That would be enough for all of the departments if they
No,
want
that's
to?
that's just out of the general fund. We also have the utility fund, which covers parks and wastewater, water, all of the different things that come under the enterprise part of the city.
So, would it be appropriate then to do like 10,000 in the general and 10,000 in the utility?
I think that would be a reasonable number. If Jay and Martin decide that it should be, they need more money, they can always come ask council. What do you think, Jay?
I think if you want to put a number in there, the goal is not to try to use all of that money. but it's to know that we have enough, you know, to give. This employee gets X number, this employee gets X number too, two different numbers. But we have the number, to basically an umbrella in there to make sure that it's covered.
And
I'd
what
say-
number are you suggesting?
I'm not, I don't have that number in my head right now or on paper, and Martin and I hasn't really discussed the total number.
Okay. I feel like that would be helpful to have, and I don't mind making
But
that
we
decision.
don't know,
later.
Rebecca, that's the problem. We won't know about raises until we get through the review process, and some of those won't happen until June.
Well, we would like to do all of them by first of the year if possible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to me, that makes it so much easier all the way around, you know, it's we started on an annual progress and it stays on an annual progress around the same time. It's something you can budget for if you want to budget, you can always plan for it. Some people work harder when they know their evaluation's coming up.
Jay, can you give us, can you come back to council with a suggested number if you review
Yes, ma'am?
that
Sure.
information?
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Nobody bothered to tell me that. Thanks,
So,
buddy. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to make a motion that we put the $100,000 in the
We're not at
wastewater
that one
improvement
yet,
fund.
buddy. That's the next, that's D. We're in C.
Oh, we're still, sorry.
Right now,
My apologies.
The only thing we must do, council, the one thing that I would request is that you make a motion to put the 22,296 into the street improvement fund, account number, wherever it is on your letter.
Oh, that's a new account.
10-518-3115. That's an account we just created
Right,
for that.
right, right.
So moved.
Thank you,
Glenn,
Glenn.
I'll second.
Glenn moves, Rebecca seconds. Discussion? All in favor? Thank you, council. That's the one thing we really needed to get done. And we'll address this other, once we have more ideas down the road.
And may I ask you a question about the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant?
Yes, ma'am.
We could, any idea when we'll be hearing back on that, when that will be awarded?
We're gonna,
The application is due by December 8th, which we're
Okay.
working on now with them. We had to get them certain things, the property deeds and things like that, and we had to get a couple of, four estimates of what we would want, so that they have something to put in with the application. So the applications were due December 8th, and we should have everything to them by then. At that point is when we'll know, it's either yes or no. There's no,
Okay.
we're not gonna give you this amount, you get 10,000 and not this. It'll be either yes, you get it all, or you get nothing.
Are you asking for a specific amount?
We're asking for the full amount, 150,000.
Okay.
so
And
let's
it's
back
a
up for a minute.
matching grant?
It's a matching grant. But on November 17th, council will see the 4 proposals.
Right.
It will be up to you to decide what we want to submit to Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Yeah, you don't have to take it all.
Okay. But
You get
whatever we
approved
take,
up
we
to
have
that
to
number.
match.
Yes.
Yeah, 50/50.
But if you want,
Yes.
they've got
Or
25,000
in
where it's
kind.
sitting, no reason why we can't.
Well, and my point was, I guess, just that if we're gonna get 45,000, then we would have to match it with 45,000, so.
There's also an in-kind match, but it would put a really big strain on our Public Works Department to expect them to excavate and install, and there are certain
Okay.
safety regulations that have to be met. I really don't want to try to put that burden on our Public Works
Okay,
Department.
I guess then I'm just comfortable delaying this.
I'm fine with that
Part
too.
of the budget adjustment.
Do they offer, are we eligible for grants each year?
Are we eligible for what?
Eligible for these grants each year?
Have we done this
Yes.
one
In other
before?
words, so if we
I
get a
know.
grant
Not
this
that
year,
I
could we
know.
apply for a different one next year? That's what
Yes.
I'm getting at.
Well, there are different types of Texas Parks and Wildlife help available. We talked with them a few years ago, and we didn't have enough total parkland
Right.
for them to be able to help us, but this is a different type of grant. So there's a lot of different things to look into, so I don't know what will be available next year. Is it gonna be a recurring thing that you know of?
I have not asked that question. I know they have, like you said, they do have some other types of grants, like walking trails and things like that, that you can actually get in the floodway, which could be an option for later years. but I don't know if you can apply for a park grant every single year. And I don't know how many they give out either. I don't know those statistics. But we met with two different, park equipment companies, and they're giving us, you know, estimate on something small and something a little bit larger. They've gone out, measured the area where we think it could be, and that's how far we are in the process, so.
Thank you. Anything else on item C, the general fund? Okay, let's move to item D, the allocation of funds to the utility fund, council contingency fund 50-500-4530 in the amount of $170,505. Again, I want to get started on that sewer project, guys. Yes, Rebecca?
Get started on funding it, right? So I would like to make a motion to allocate the $100,000 to the wastewater improvement fund 50-502-44200.
Second.
Thanks. 100,000.
Thank you. Second?
Tom did.
Thank you, Tom. Discussion? All in favor? All in favor, none opposed. Thank you, council. Just for your information, we had a meeting with Ian Thompson and Derek Nizer. Well, we didn't. I was out of town, but Jay did, and they began to look at sites for this, and thank you, being ready to get started. The rest of this money, we just leave where it's sitting until council decides what they want to do with it. Anything other specific you want to do with money in the contingency fund for now?
Not this time.
Okay. Let's move on to item 7, request and announcements. Request by council to place items on the future agenda. We're already gonna have the update on the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant next week,
Next meeting,
next month.
next
7th,
month.
21st, whatever day it is.
Maybe, we may not have anything by then. They said it could be the first before we get any of those estimates
Well, if we have to
back,
have it
so.
in by the 8th, we're gonna have to have a special meeting then.
No, we have a meeting on the 5th, I believe, it's
Meeting
scheduled,
fifth,
yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Well, I was hoping we could have it there.
A request.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you guys are already planning this, but I know that you mentioned waiting till after the election to have the House bill and Senate bill updates and like a presentation by Dan. And that's something that I'd be interested in, seeing happen as soon as possible.
We have a meeting with Dan next week, and that's one of the things we'll be discussing, is when it would be good for him to come here, because now that he's really busy, so get him to come here on a Thursday and give us that presentation.
And the other thing that I thought might be helpful, that Dan could maybe put something together for us is like a parliamentary procedure presentation with council. I think that might be, a helpful learning piece for everybody. And then, I'll bring this one up later, that's fine.
Okay, fine. Yes, Lynn.
And I know that we have been discussing the historical ordinances and what we can do about getting those back on track as well. And I'd like to have that on the agenda in the future.
Will that be related to the House bill and Senate bill presentations, because there's
Well, that's one
special
of the reasons
restrictions
we're
on
meeting-
that
okay.
right
That's
now.
one of the reasons we're meeting with Dan next
Right.
week, is to see where we are on these things. Anything else? Yes, Bryce?
Was there P and Z meeting last night?
Yes.
Anything that we need to know about?
No, both items were tabled, I believe.
Cool, all right.
Any other requests by council? Announcement by council.
I'm gonna be serving barbecue with my dad at the courthouse lawn. I'm sorry, what organization funds that? I think it's the Legion Hall, they buy the barbecue and
At the
they
Legion
serve
Hall?
the whole community, so we'll be there.
You had me at food.
Good. And that's in observance of Veterans Day.
Of Veterans Day, yeah.
Parade this week, as was mentioned.
Yeah.
Parades at noon. Anything else? Oh, I know what's up. On November the 16th, the Polish American Council of Texas will be here in Bandera with a ceremony on the courthouse starting at 10:30. We've got some very important people from the Ukraine coming. Of course, I can't pronounce their names, and I'm gonna have to introduce them, so it should be really interesting. If you wanna laugh, come on up. But I think it's really great that we're pursuing this relationship, and they're coming to see us and learn more about Texas. Yes, ma'am.
And Eleanor called today, so in case of bad weather for that, they are looking at, and pretty positive, using the Boys and Girls Club under the patio thing.
Works for me. Yes, ma'am.
Also happening on Saturday is the Cork and Fork out there at the farm. And Buddy Bird is gonna be honored for the local hero for all of his efforts in sponsoring nonprofit events and his,
Awesome.
yeah, so they're gonna be honoring him.
Is the city sending their our liaison to the Arthur Nagel Clinic to that event? Is that something that we've done?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is that something that could be done?
I will be present.
There's a list.
Who's the person?
I don't know. Well, okay, is it me?
Maybe-
I'm pretty sure you signed up for all of those.
Oh, that's right on the list.
I will need to do
of-
that again after the new council.
After the new council. And speaking of the new council, I want to tell you what a pleasure it's been to have Tom on board council. I know that you're going to
Sounds
continue
like
to
a
serve the
eulogy.
city. You're not gone yet, you'll be gone next meeting. But, no, I don't, it's just been great to
Thank you.
have you. It's really been good.
Yes,
And
I've enjoyed
I hope
serving
you
with you
continue to
as
serve
well.
the city. You're a voice of reason and bring up some good ideas. Anything else, council? Motion to adjourn? Glenn makes a motion to adjourn. Bryce, Beverly. Everybody.
Is that me?